You see all these videos online. Leave the UK now. The UK is in recession. The UK is a third world place. You need to leave the UK now. Everything is wrong in the UK. I want to share with you my perspective. The UK is one of the only few places in the world outside of Africa where I truly felt free to live just as me, Jase, as a human being. Not as an African woman, not as a black woman, not even as a French woman, just as me. I still remember when I just arrived in the UK, I went in a job center and a woman wearing a hijab came walking toward me to help me. I was shocked. I moved back a little bit because that's not something that I was used to see, that the person that would serve customer coming through the door was somebody wearing an hijab. I've never seen that in France, so for me I couldn't comprehend it. This couldn't be possible. And no, she was working there and she was just there to help me, and that was something that stayed with me until today. The other thing also that really shocked me when I arrived in the UK, as a black woman, I saw a representation of me everywhere. In banks, post office, television, everywhere. I could see a representation of myself. In leadership roles, I often was met at the door with a minority, whether Indian, blacks, Asian, and that was something that was very strange for me that I haven't seen in France. It showed me what was possible. The UK is the place where I started many businesses. I taught French after school to children in primary school. I even hired a Spanish teacher to teach Spanish. Nobody ever asked me for a diploma. No one wanted to see my CV first. They asked, can you do the job? In France, you need a degree to be a cleaner. In the UK, your skills speak first, and this is something big. It completely changed my mindset in terms of business. It's something that I haven't seen in France. In France, we could not find jobs that matched our potentials, right? Like for my husband and I. As soon as we moved to the UK, my husband's salary doubled. I could do jobs that I was not being offered in France. It changed completely things for us. Within the first year, we were able to put a deposit to buy our first home. It's more about your value, your competencies, your skills, more than your background, where you are from. And this is quite unique. And I couldn't choose a better place to raise my kids in the UK. There's values here that my kid would not have learned in France. Growing up here, my kids learned that a job is a job. There's no such a thing as a low job. One day you will see somebody in an office, the next day they're a carer, or the next day they are a cleaner. They go where the money is. This was a big lesson for us because coming from France, if you study business, if you study law, whatever you study is in that line of work that you need to work. In the UK, even when you were like unemployed and you go to the UK, to the job center, they will offer you a job that has absolutely nothing to do with what you've learned at school. Which means that unemployment is not as high as in France, and that you always fall into your feet. You know, there's no such a thing as a low job, right? If you're being paid, let's say £15 to be a cleaner or £20, and in an office job, you are paid £12, people will go clean because they'll earn more money. This is a shift in the mindset, right? In France, at my time, I don't know today, I have been living out of France for the last 24 years. It was more like your job title, the place where you work, the office, you know, the attire, etc. It's not so much the same thing in here. So I'm really grateful that my kids today are very capable young women. They bounce back very quickly on their feet. They're not going to be waiting for the best job to arrive, the right job to arrive. They will do in between jobs until they find that job that they want. And this is something that we learn here. I remember us being in France, is if you haven't find job in your field, you will be going and adding up the queue and the line of the unemployment in France, because everyone want to work into what they've been going to school for. Another very important point is I never ever feared for my life in the UK. Walking down the street, going outside, seeing the police, I'm never feared that somebody's just going to kill me because I'm black, or that when I see the police, I fear the police. Like a lot of African American may be scared of the police when they see the police in the US. In the part of the UK where I live in the south, I live in a small town, and I had never felt that something would happen. I never felt for my life. Of course, like everywhere else, you have to be careful. And something that's not negligible as well, in the UK, the healthcare is free, right? When you work or even when you have a business, they will take the NHS, so a cut into your income, a small portion, so you don't really feel it every month. Being able to go see the doctor, being able to go to the hospital if you are injured, and having medication for the cost of a coffee and a cake. It's something not negligible. And most of all, it's like the UK is a country that I love as well, because I don't have to perform. I can just be me. I don't have to perform. I can go outside, dress exactly how I want. People don't care. People mind the business in here in the UK, and it's something that I love. I'm not really leaving the UK because of all these stories online about the UK being the worst country, the UK being this and that. Yes, there's inflation like everywhere. Yeah, there's a lot going wrong like in the world, right? But I'm just leaving because my time in the UK has expired. I think I've benefit to everything that I could have learned from this country, and I'm just ready to go to my next destination. If you consider living in the UK, I would actually encourage you. It's a great place to raise a family. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to live free as a human being, and mainly if you are a black person. Okay, don't miss the next video, because I'm gonna tell you about what I hate about the UK, right? There's what I love, there's also what I don't like here.